Hey everybody, this is Captain Frugal reporting for duty, giving you my weekly comic book review. So sit back and enjoy. Alright everybody, for those of you that know the drill, I go over a bunch of comic books for the week that I chose to read. Now I didn't have time to read everything, so if I missed something you think I should have read, let me know in the comments below. Also, you may disagree with me on some of my choices. If that's the case, that's alright. Let me know below. Let's just try to keep it civil. My goal is to bring back the old schoolyard days, where we would be in discussing what hero could beat who or what comic book was good and not. And I come armed with my trusty notes, so you'll hear the paper rattle because I do it a little bit old school. I do my grading on a scale of 0 through 10, 7 being average as a 70%. So I'm using schoolyard grading. But that's not all. I also use the League of Comics Geeks to give you other people's views as well as a brief overview of the comic book as well. So let's jump right in. Welcome back everybody. Oh yeah, are you ready for a good time? Let's talk about some comic books. Yes, if you noticed I wasn't here last week for this. I was too busy. I didn't have time to get to it. So I didn't do a comic book review, and this week is pretty small group too, not a whole lot of them. So let's dive right into our Caped Crusader Batman issue 154. Yes, let's break out our guns. Get it? Batman, guns, anti-gun thing. There's a reason I mentioned that actually because of this, what's in this issue. 185 out of 215 liked it with a 3.7 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, and I gave the book a 7. I didn't find it as good as they did, but hey, it is what it is. Writers Chip Zdarsky and Steve Orlando. The artist is Carmine D. and Pop Mahan. Once again, I butcher names, so I butchered them. What can I say? Murder's rocketed the heart of... not rocketed. Oh my goodness, I'm off to a great start. Murder has rocked the heart of Gotham. Batman and Jim Gordon will have to piece together the clues and discover the truth, no matter how dark. Has the really gone legit? Is the Court of Owls involved? Yes, they are, by the way. Meanwhile, public sentiment is turning against Wayne Enterprises. Yes, it's an interesting thing. And what's going on with Commander Starr? Well, it's decent art, decent pacing in this issue. I don't know, though. They're really messing around with, if you recall from starting last issue, messing around with some of Batman Bruce Wayne's past. Dealings with his parents and potential brother. I don't know if I like where that's going. I think it's a bit of a controversial thing to do. But I will continue to give this a series a try. I gave it a 7 and 10. Nothing super spectacular. And if you want to know what I'm talking about the gun thing, you'll have to read this issue for yourself. Next, let's talk about another DC book. Yeah, we're going to dive into Shazam number 17. 49 out of 55 liked it with a 3.8 rating on League of Comics Geeks, and I gave the book a 7.3. Writer is Jose Campbell, artist is Dan McDade. I think it's an interesting cover. I like the art style too, by the way, for this at this point in time. Well, anyway, Christmas has come early for Freddie Freeman. As you know, he's got powers, but where did these powers come that made him a superhero? Well, let's be clear here. They introduced a little bit of that in this issue of how those powers came to be, and it's not necessarily a good thing, and it's influencing him in a bad way. So it looks like we're going to get him as the commander, Freddie Freeman, the commander, fighting none other than the captain, probably next issue. It's setting that up. It's, as I said, I find this art style in this issue pretty good. Will the power corrupt Freddy? Yes, it does. And I think it's an interesting story, especially if you don't want something dark and everything. This Shazam title series seems to be a little light in the mood, but it's a fun read and I'm enjoying it. And I think you might too. By the way, if you haven't watched the Shazam movies, I know they get a little bit of a bad rap, but I think you're missing out. I think they were pretty good family entertainment movies. They aren't like top tier, but they are, in thinking and all that, but that's not what they were made for. They're made to be a good popcorn movie, and I think they were just that, and I enjoyed them, and my family enjoyed them too, and you may as well. The next book I want to talk about is Birds of Prey, number 15. 119 out of 125 liked it with a 4.1 average rating. Surprised me pretty good there because that's higher than I gave it. I gave it a 7.1. The writer is Kelly Thompson and artist is Sam Basari. And I think this book falls into the pitfalls of something that we normally get lately with a lot of female writers, but I'll dive into a little bit about the story first. The team uncovers the Ninth Day cult's deadliest secrets. Things have gone sideways in the Birds of Prey's investigation of the Ninth Day cult, and the Birds' undercover operative, Cassandra Cain, has gone deathly silent. Yep, she gets caught. And will the team go in to get her, or are they going to give her a little time? Do they think she can get out on her own? Well, you're going to have to read this one. And that's one of the reasons I mentioned that is because, well, here's the thing. This book suffers from a lot of, some reason, these new young adult type of writers do. They go into a lot of talking, and their pace tends to be a little slow on these books, and this gets that. It's pretty good art. And I will say, even though with all of that talking, there is some good team building, and that's what they're doing here. So I gave it a pass in that regard, but it could have used a little more action to really set the book off. So we missed a little bit in that. So, 7.1. Sticking with DC Comics, I went with JSA number 1. And it looks like this first issue has sold a lot because we had 313 out of 333 liked it with a 4 average rating on League of Comics Geeks. And I gave it a 7.7, so not too far off from what they did. The writer is Jeff Lemire, artist Diego Alarraqui. Once again, I have no disrespect in mean with that. I am just freaking terrible with names, especially last names. This has some alternate covers that are pretty interesting, to be honest, but I think the standard cover was quite good for this one. The new era of the JSA begins here. Longtime fan favorite characters Hawkman, Hawkgirl, Jade, Obsidian, Jesse Quick, Hourman, Ted Grant, and Sandman are all back on the roster as DC's first superhero team faces their greatest and most personal challenge yet. Will Golden Age ideals hold true in a world recovering from the events of absolute power? Or do they need a more hardcore approach to stand a chance against the new Injustice Society of America? I will say the first opening pages of this one are good right off the start. Really great introductory, good art in this issue. The story, I think, is off to a very strong start. You get some character dynamics and building with talking here, and it makes a lot of sense in this issue, and a decent amount of action. I'm really interested in this story, and I tell you, I'm really looking forward to the next issue of JSA. If you didn't get it and you're a JSA fan, this is probably one for you to check out.
Hey guys, today's video is sponsored by My Wallet. Yeah, I'm not trying to push any kind of wallet or pimp any wallet out. What I mean is it's sponsored by my personal wallet and the cash that comes out of it to pay for these things. If you want to help with this, you can hit like, subscribe, that notification bell. Those are great ways to get started. But if you find yourself in a position where you can help the channel more, we have a Patreon and a subscribe star down below that you can click on those links. And for as little as $1 a month, you'll have special videos and things just to you, music that you can get. Or maybe if you wanted to, a one-time donation just to help out, we have a Streamlabs link down below. Or we also have, if you go to the Patreon shop, you could buy a song for like $3. I wish I could put them a little lower, but that's the minimum they allow for that. So there's lots of options. Sometimes you might even see an Amazon link. If you want to buy anything through Amazon, click on my link first, then go through there. That'll give me a couple pennies, possibly that way too as well. So there's lots of ways you can help out the channel, because without you, it would not be possible. So thank you, everybody. And let's get back to the video.
All right, let's jump to Marvel to piss some people off a little bit, shall we? You know, anytime I say anything controversial, like the last, not last week, but the week before that, I did one where the review was with Iron Man, the new Iron Man, about is he woke, and somebody got so pissed off, they left a thing that had to be held into the comments. And here's the thing, usually people are pissy. They can't write to save their lives. I mean, there's no punctuation, there's no capitalization, and it didn't even make sense. It wasn't even a complete sentence. So if you're going to get pissed off, it's okay to be pissed off. It's okay to leave a comment, but please write one that's legible and that people can actually read and understand. That way I know why you're pissed off at me, because evidently the only thing I could tell is they weren't happy that I said the book was woke. But that's about all I could understand because they were so incoherent. So if you're gonna be, pissed at me, at least write something that I can understand of why I'm an idiot or something. Well, anyway, here we go. Blood Hunters number 4, 20 out of 23 liked it with a 3.6 average rating, and I gave it a 7. Yep, just a 7. And Erica Schultz is the writer. Artist is Robert Gill. The super vamps of the Blood Coven have Dagger in their clutches, and her teammates in the Blood Hunters will risk it all to get her back. Yeah, they've really changed a lot since barking at each other to now really being there for one another. How far will Alyssa Bloodstone, White Widow, and Hallows Eve be forced to go in order to rescue Dagger? Will they strap a bomb to a cat? You'll need to read it to understand what I'm talking about with that one, and I'm trying to build some excitement here. There's decent art in this issue, there's decent action, but the kicker is really not much story progression in this one. And just for the record, Miles Morales is Miles Morales. There's where you're going to be pissed at me because they use him in this one. And you know what? Miles Morales sucks in this issue. Well, he wants to because he's a vampire, right? And so they have to get him out of there because he's falling. He can't handle not sucking. He's got to get his blood in there. And so they have to send him away. It was an okay issue. If I wasn't already starting reading it, I wouldn't continue it, though. I'll say that. But I'm into it. I'm thinking it's going to end. I think next issue is the last one. I don't know if it continues after that, but I believe the story arc ends after next issue, so I'll stick it out at least that far. The next one I want to talk about is the Avengers. Yeah, just like the video game. The Avengers, if you know what I'm talking about. 104 out of 107 liked it with a 4 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, and I gave it a 7. Yeah, it's mid. Writers Jed McKay, artist is Farid Karmani. Once again, butchering names. Black Panther War Journal. Free the prisoners. Black Panther stars in this issue. Yeah, really, it all revolves around him as he journeys into the pocket dimension here. And in this pocket dimension, he's trying to free these people, while the Avengers deal with Doctor Doom on the outside. T'Challa must rescue the prisoners trapped within this living prison. It completely focuses on Black Panther. There's decent art. There's decent action in this one as well. But the problem is just, it's, as I mentioned with the 7 score, it's just mid. And there's really nothing that great. So it's just like, okay. The Black Panther does show his skills as a leader, though, in this issue. So if you like that side of Black Panther, seeing what makes him special as a leader and those skills, you'll definitely get that in this issue. So if you're a big Black Panther fan, this is for you. If you're not a big Black Panther fan, you probably won't care about this one and maybe even skip it. Now let's talk about the next one, which is I saved the best for last. Yeah, I did. This one's the Ultimate number 6. 530 out of 539 liked it with a 4.5 average rating. That means this book is selling well. And on my scale, if they were using my scale, they would have a 9. And just to show you how close we were, I gave it an 8.5. So, bravo. Writers, Denz Camp. Artist, Juan Ferrari. And anyway, the Ultimates assembled to take down none other than the Hulk. The entire roster of the Ultimates unite for the first time. They even bring in some other characters that they haven't used yet in this for a conclusion of the first story arc and a big fight. Iron Lad has a plan to defeat the Hulk, the most powerful, imposing member of the Maker's Council. Gotta learn to speak there. But has he gotten in over his head? Have the team took too much, that more than they can handle? The answer is they sure the heck did. Wow. They're time for the rescue mission. They're going in. But we have the Hulk. But not just a Hulk. We have a well-trained Hulk with the power of the Iron Fist. Could you imagine that? How powerful the Iron Fist punch already is, but now with the well-trained Hulk that has the Iron Fist and high fighting capabilities and a team of Immortal Fist to back him up, oh boy, I tell you, he offers them tea at first. They didn't take it. They should have took the tea. That's all I have to say. There's good art and a twist in this story that is from the past, which is going to be pretty cool. And I will tell you, this is a brutal issue. This is a good one. Ultimate fans, don't miss this one. If you haven't been reading the Ultimates, get it. It's a good one. It's been good up to this point. That's my recommendation. All right. Thanks, everybody, for helping and watch this, but I want to take a moment to thank these people. The following people have been supporting the channel on Patreon. There's other people too that use Patreon, my channel, for free on that. But if there's also a active amount of paid members that are helping the channel continue. And without these people, this channel definitely would not be possible. We have TSPH. Thank you, you're awesome. Neostar Productions. Once again, you're awesome. Crazy Cat, you're awesome. Hope's Eyes, you are awesome. A Penny for Your Dimes, you are awesome. Comic Boom, you are awesome. And Rags, you are awesome. Some of these people make comics, some do comic channels themselves too as well, and some are just very wonderful people that are trying to help support this channel. Now, if you want to go another way, you don't want to use Patreon, but you want to use Subscribestar, I can understand that. I do have a Subscribestar. I've had several people come and go on that one. Currently, the Fly Attractor is being awesome and helping me on that channel, on that platform as well. So you have different platforms. You can even do a one-time donation if you look down in the links below and just throw me a tip. I appreciate it. Any of those things help go to continuing, making sure I have the materials I can do for this channel. Without them, this channel wouldn't be possible. Without you watching, wouldn't be possible. If you don't have other ways to help, you can always just like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment. Those things all help in analytics and help this channel grow, which it has been doing because of you. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate all of you. And until next time, keep it